Wait, take your time. Delete and insert the following.
Honourable member, let me hear from the minority leader.
A. Energy sector shortfalls.
Let me hear from the minority.
Energy sector shortfalls. Mr. Speaker, we have the main purpose is to restrict the use of the funds. Oh.
Are you a headmaster?
Mr. Speaker, with respect, in moving the new amendment, Mr. Speaker, we are learning here. We are learning here. You move the amendment to give us the rendition, then you come with a justification. You don't mix them. I humbly submit that you move the amendment, let us get the rendition. Then after, you can now give us the rationale behind the new rendition. That's the practice. With all humility, please.
Mr. Speaker,
Honourable Chairman, go ahead.
Proposed amendment A and B, delete and insert the following. A, energy sector shortfalls. And B, energy sector legacy debts. Mr. Speaker, this is meant to restrict the
Honourable Minority Leader, allow the chairman of the committee to move the amendment, and it is at the end of moving the amendment that the new rendition will be perfect.
Headmaster. Are you a head?
So at what point do you give the new rendition?
Mr. Speaker, with respect. Mr. Speaker, with respect. Mr. Speaker, this at this stage is not the politics we do. It's a learning curve. We have new MPs here. They must learn from the best. Mr. Speaker, he has, wait. Honorable, wait. Mr. Speaker, he says that they are introducing a new amendment. What you do is that you tell us what you are inserting. Then you read the rendition and you give the justification. What you have just said, Mr. Speaker, with respect, what he just said is that there is a new clause this, there is an insertion. And then he doesn't explain to us, he doesn't put it in context within the new clause. Then he goes ahead to explain. That is not what we do, Mr. Speaker. Let him take it again.
Am I understanding this differently? Because the proposal on the floor is to delete A and B and then insert a new A and B. Is that not it? So after the proposal to delete A and B, then a new A and B will be inserted. And this is in category of A and B. And we're saying that the A is energy sector shortfall, and he is also reading the B.
What he's doing, he, after saying that, he went ahead to provide the justification. Mr. Speaker, I'm still a student too. You preside. What I know, and correct me if I'm wrong. When you propose a new amendment, you give us a rendition, then you do the justification.
Honorable Togbi,
he was giving the justification.
Honorable Togbi Osahi Alexander Kwamina Ahonyo Watkins. Please, Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, what I read out is the new rendition, or he just wanted to hear the word new rendition. So if I don't say new rendition, you will know that's a new rendition. Because I read it out and I said that A, listen, I said A, energy sector shortfalls. You wanted me to call this a new rendition before you understand.
So call for it.
And then B, energy sector legacy debt. Those are the new rendition.
Don't mind him.
Oh, so if I don't say new rendition, you won't take it. So if I don't say new rendition, you won't take it.
Honorable members,
leader, read the main
define.
The amendment
Mr.
proposed
Chairman,
is to delete
Mr.
A and B and do a new
Mr.
section
Chairman, the
for the
reason
consideration
why
of the House.
we are,
Honourable members, for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, the question is, those in favour of the amendment proposed by the chairman of the committee, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The amendment as proposed by the chairman of the committee is ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, clause 4.
Management of account.
Honourable chairman of the committee, any proposed amendment to clause 4?
Mr. Speaker, the proposed amendment. The schedule row 2, column 3, delete and insert for the payment of energy sector shortfalls and energy sector legacy debt. So if you go to the bill,
Honourable member, clause 4 is under reference. And clause 4 of the bill is management of accounts. Is there any proposed amendment to clause 4?
Mr. Speaker, there is no proposed amendment.
Honourable members, there is no advertised amendment. However, it is for the consideration of the House.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, we have the order paper addendum here. The practice has always been that the committee's amendment will be advertised. I want to ask the chairman of the committee, are these amendments suddenly arising from any deliberate? Because he has moved the first amendment. Have they arisen suddenly? Why are they not advertised? If you advertise, that is when members get the opportunity to also make their input. Mr. Speaker, let's not rush things. There are first timers here. Listen, if we don't help them to learn, if we don't teach them, and tomorrow we are not in this chamber, how do we expect them to do the right thing? Mr. Speaker, we don't know the amendment. We don't know the amendment.
Honourable Minority Leader, Honourable Minority Leader, the practice is that mostly if financial bills are being considered under certificate of urgency, the amendments are always not advertised.
Mr. Speaker, yes, you are right in part, but it would be better for all of us to align and to be carried along. That's all my point.
Honourable members, there is no advertised amendment on clause 4 of the bill by the committee. Honourable members, is anybody having a proposed amendment? Honourable members, the question therefore is that clause 4 stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 4 is accordingly ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 5.
Regulations.
Chairman of the committee, is there a proposed amendment on clause 5 of the bill?
Mr. Speaker, we have no amendment.
Is there any amendment from the members of this August House? Honourable members, there being no proposed amendment to clause 5 of the bill, the question therefore is that those in favour of clause 4 standing part of the bill say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 5 is accordingly ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 6.
Interpretation.
Honourable members, clause 6 under consideration. Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, we have no amendment.
Honourable members, no advertised amendment, no amendment from the committee. Is any member proposing amendment to clause 6 of the bill? Honourable members, there be no proposed amendment to clause 6 of the bill. As many as are in favor say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, clause 6 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Yes, Honourable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to be double sure. The chair of the committee has amended clause 1. I just want to be sure whether that amendment does not affect the interpretation. So, because he says that there is no amendment to clause 6. So I want to know from him, in view,
Honourable Minority Leader, clause 1 of the bill has never been amended.
which one? Is it clause 2?
Clause 1 has never
Clause
been
3. Mr.
amended.
Speaker, with respect, I mean clause 3. Mr. Speaker, I mean clause 3. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, clause 3. I am sure now. I am sure now. Mr. Speaker, clause 3. The chairman amended clause 3. Mr. Chairman,
Honourable member, the clause 6 that we pose the question
that's the
has
interpretation.
got to do with interpretation of the word minister. And the word minister has never been used in clause 3 of the bill.
Mr. Speaker, I agree. All I am saying is that in view of the amendment, Mr. Speaker, please, in view of the amendment of clause 3, is it his position that will not affect any other clause? I just want to hear from him.
Honourable member, if the amendment proposed to clause 3 A and B will affect any part of the bill, when we get to that part, I think chairman will indicate it to us. Clause 7, repeals and savings. Yes, clause 7.
Repeals and savings.
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, we have no amendment.
Honourable members, the committee has no amendment. Is any member having a proposed amendment to clause 7 of the bill? Honourable members, in the absence of any proposed amendment to clause 7 of the bill, the question is, as many as are in favor of clause 7 standing part of the bill say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 7 of the bill is accordingly ordered to be part of the bill. Honourable members, transitional provision clause 8.
Transitional provision.
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, we have no amendment.
Honourable members, it's for the consideration of the House. The committee doesn't have amendment to this bill. Honourable members, in the absence of any amendment to clause 8 of the bill, the question is, as many as are in favor of clause 8 being part of the bill say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 8 is accordingly ordered to be part of the bill. Honourable members, the schedule.
Types of levies.
Honourable members, the schedule is under consideration. Chairman of the committee, any proposed amendment?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the schedule rule 2, column 3, delete and insert for the payment of energy sector shortfalls and energy sector levy, energy sector debt. Mr. Speaker,
Honourable members, this is a consequential amendment. Honourable members, This is a consequential amendment proposed by the chairman of the committee. Any further amendments? Honourable members, in the absence, yes, Honourable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, I want to go along with the chair. Which particular part of the schedule is he amending? He said rule. So as I have it here. And chairman must do this standing upright. My own chairman. Mr. Speaker is my friend. He's my friend.
Honourable member, the chairman is not sitting down. The chairman is standing up.
Upright. Mr. Speaker, he knows he stands upright. He is my friend. So, chairman, we have page 7, 8, where? Which of their schedules are you amending? Let's see. Tell us. And do so standing upright.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether in a photo, when people are speaking to a mic, they stand up and speak to the mic. Or you don't know I'm taller than the mic. So it's the reason I must bend to speak to the mic. But Mr. Speaker, maybe I should help my colleague look at the schedule. You've seen the schedule? So this is rule 1, this is rule 2, this column, purpose column. Do you understand purpose column? Good. So if you go to purpose column, that is where I'm deleting and inserting what I've quoted for you. What I'm deleting is what you see there. I am saying I am deleting what you see there. And in place, and pay attention and learn. Be a good student. Be a good student and learn. So keep quiet and learn. Okay. So what I'm inserting is for the payment of energy sector shortfalls. What you see there as purpose, I'm deleting it.
Why are you responding to this? You should be addressing the speaker.
Mr. Speaker, so I'm deleting
Honourable Minority Leader.
and inserting payments of energy sector shortfalls and energy sector legacy debt, Mr. Speaker. This is consequential to the initial insertions that I made
In clause 3.
Where I want
Honourable Chairman of the committee, we all understand this is a consequential amendment. You did the same amendment at clause 3. So consequentially, this is supposed to be amended. Honourable members, consequential amendments are not supposed to take too much time. Honourable members, those in favour of the proposed amendment say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The amendment proposed by the chairman of the committee is ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, any further amendment on the schedule? Honourable members, any further amendment to the schedule?
Mr. Speaker, we have no further amendments.
Honourable members, the question is, as many as are in favour of the schedule as amended, standing part of the bill, say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The schedule as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, the long title.
An act to consolidate existing energy sector levies to promote prudent and efficient utilization of the proceeds generated from the levies, facilitate long-term investment in the energy sector, and provide for related matters.
Honourable members, any proposed amendment to the schedule?
The Speaker, proposed amendment. The long title, delete and insert the following. An act to consolidate existing energy sector levies to promote prudent and efficient utilization of the proceeds generated from the levies to address energy sector shortfall payments, energy sector legacy debt, facilitate investment, and provide for related matters.
Honourable members, this is consequential amendment. Yes, ranking member.
Mr. Speaker, I'm proposing to amend the amendment.
Yes. Yes, honorable member,
further
you have the
amendment.
right so to do.
Yes, because this amendment is only taken out from the original long title. Long term is what is taken out. But I think the entire phrase, facilitate investments, should go out of the long title. Because the minister is seeking to consolidate these levies for the payment of shortfalls and energy sector levies. I drew his attention to the fact that the problems in the energy sector are both financial but also investment. But he opted to focus on the financials. And so I do not understand why investment still shows in the long title. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So, honorable ranking member, your proposal is to delete long-term investment in, so that the new rendition will just say facilitate the energy sector and provide the energy sector, and then Adongo's renditions will come. Is that what you are proposing?
Mr. Speaker, is to read an act to consolidate existing energy sector levies to promote prudent and efficient utilization of the proceeds generated from the levies to address energy sector shortfall payments, energy sector legacy debt, and provide for related matters, so that facilitate investment is out.
Chairman of the committee, for your consideration. Yes, Finance Minister.
Mr. Speaker, there is a good reason why we restricted ourselves to only 2 items. Mr. Speaker, currently the energy sector shortfalls for the 2025 fiscal year is $2.2 billion. Mr. Speaker, this is business as usual scenario. With measures, the shortfall will be reduced to $1.3 billion, approximately 28 billion cedis. Right, Honorable Speaker, the intention is to use this dedicated flow to pay down the shortfalls to avert doomsday. Any attempt to broaden the scope so that part of these levies will be used for other investment, you defeat the purpose. That is why, Mr. Speaker, a decision has been made to collapse some levies and then consolidate it into one for that particular expenditure. Mr. Speaker, going forward, when the shortfalls are no longer there, we can come to the House to make amendment to consider investment in long term. But we have a problem today. And so, Mr. Speaker, I urge the ranking member to abandon his amendment for now. Because, Mr. Speaker, the amendment that he's making is only in the long title, but it doesn't have base in the main, in the body. It doesn't have in the base. So, Mr. Speaker, what I'm trying to say is that...
So, honorable members, let's deal with the issue one after the other. Honorable Chairman of the committee has proposed amendment. Let me first put the question on the Chairman's amendment, then we can come to the amendment proposed by the ranking member. Honorable members, yes.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, I think that the ranking member's proposed amendment is in order because we had already restricted ourselves to use the funds for only energy sector shortfalls and energy sector legacy debt, which prevents us from using any of funds that are coming out of this to do investment. And so on the basis of that, the long title doesn't properly sit with what we want to do with
Honourable
it.
members, as many as are in favour of the amendment proposed by the chairman of the committee say aye. Those against say no. Now, ranking member, will you abandon your amendment or still want to move it?
Yeah, it's valid.
So you are agreeing on the further amendment proposed by...
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, he's right, because
Very well.
the investment is not part of what is in the body, so
Very well,
the ranking
very
member
well.
is right.
Very well. Honourable members, the question will now be on the further amendment. Yes, Honourable Imedu.
Mr. Speaker, seek your direction. Because they are both, that is from the chairman and the ranking, they both seek to amend the long title. I thought that we would enrich it before the question is put. Now, the question was put earlier, and the finance
On the long
minister...
title, we never put the question earlier.
Oh, I thought you put the question
Yes,
on what the
on-
chairman proposed.
Yes, what the chairman proposed.
And there is a further amendment that is being sought
Yes,
by the ranking member,
yes.
which is proposing that the long-term investment, so we have to delete the words facilitate long-term investments.
Yes.
Now that is what we are discussing. And
Yes.
from what the finance minister gave, he is looking at us doing this in the future. Now we have this bill before us, and these are the contents that we have taken. The bill is to consolidate all these levies, and therefore I agree with what the ranking member has said, that let us delete the facilitate long-term investment.
Yes, this has been agreed upon. That is what exactly I will be putting the
Very
question
well.
on.
Very well, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, all those in favour of the amendment proposed by the chairman of the committee and further amended by the ranking member say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the amendment proposed to the long title is hereby ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, change now is all those in favour of the long title standing part of the bill say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the long title of the bill as variously amended is hereby ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, this is the end of the consideration of the bill, Energy Sector Levy 2025. Honourable members, the motion number 17. Minister responsible for finance.
Right, Honourable Speaker. I beg to move that the Energy Sector Levies Bill 2025 be now read the third time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded. Honourable members, this being the procedural motion, the question is, as many as are in favour of the procedural motion number 17 say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, motion numbered 18. Yes.
Excuse me. Mr. Speaker, I think there's been a mix-up. The minister rose and moved item number 18 instead of 17 because he said that he was moving that the bill be read a third time.
Well,
so I think he moved 18 instead of 17.
Very
if
well.
we can make the corrections.
Then let's go back to item number 17. The procedural motion must be moved first.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the procedural motion advertised as item 17 on today's order paper addendum, page 4, be taken now. I so move.
Honourable members, motion moved. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable member, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. As many as are in favor of this procedural motion, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Honourable members, item numbered 18 at page 4 of the order
Right, Honourable
paper addendum.
Speaker, I beg to move that the Energy Sector Levies Bill 2025 be now read the third time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, motion moved. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion numbered 18 on the order paper today is moved and seconded. The question, therefore, is that those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
An
Motion
act to
adopted.
consolidate existing energy sector levies to promote prudent and efficient utilization of the proceeds generated from the levies to address energy sector shortfalls payments, energy sector legacy debts, and provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the Energy Sector Levy Bill 2025 is now read the third time and pass. Yes, Honourable Deputy Whip. Honourable Deputy Whip.
Speaker, I'm on my feet to challenge the vote under Order 1513. Speaker,
Honourable Deputy Whip.
yes, Speaker.
In view of the fact that the minority leader even said that the report is by consensus and we can do this by consensus, you are challenging the vote. Very well. Honourable members, we call for head count.
Very well.
Yes, Honourable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, application withdrawn. Application withdrawn.
Let them make out the application withdraw.
Mr. Speaker, application withdrawn. Application withdrawn.
Yes, Honourable Majority Leader.
What's that?
Mr. Speaker, item number 19.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the procedural motion advertised as item 19 on today's order paper addendum be taken now. I so move.
Honourable members, motion moved. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, this is a procedural motion. The question is, as many as are in favor say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Item number 20.
There's no amendment.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Amendment Bill 2025 be now read the second time.
Honourable members, motion number 20 for second reading is moved. I will then give the floor to the chairman of the committee to present his reports. Chairman of the committee, you have the floor.
Kwame.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
The committee's report. This is second reading.
Mr. Speaker, I read the conclusion of the committee's report and request that Hansard should capture the whole report. Mr. Speaker, the committee unanimously recommends to this House to adopt the report and approve the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Amendment Bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, so moved.
Honourable members, motion moved for the second reading the committee's report presented, and it is now for the House to debate same. Honourable members, I will open the floor for the debate. Yes, Honourable Kwame Anyimedo, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, in as much as I would love that we discuss debate this bill, I'm not privileged to have a copy of the bill too. I'll receive it, and I'm happy that he's giving me a copy, but I'll pray that I'll be given time to study the bill in order that I can debate.
So,
Thank you, Mr.
honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, anybody ready to debate apart from Honourable Anyimedo? Yes, ranking member. Honourable Ranking, you are yielding to Honourable Kabiru?
No, both.
Ranking member, have your turn first.
So thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in this report, the report suggests that the report suggests that GIF is being GIF, the ABFA that goes to GIF is being taken away from GIF for use in the budget. And because of this, certain projects are to be affected. Number one is Agenda 111, and then number two is the Accra motorway. Meanwhile, these people have said that we did not have dedicated funding. But my friends on the other side have said repeatedly that we did not have any dedicated funding for Agenda 111 projects. Now in this report, and this is consistent with what the minister told the committee, the Agenda 111 has now been moved to the Ministry of Health. And that is the main reason GIF does no longer need the ABFA. What it means is that we were using the ABFA given to GIF for funding of Agenda 111 projects. And so to suggest that we did not have dedicated funding cannot be true. This report has vindicated our position as the mighty minority that we always had dedicated funding for the Agenda 111 project. Mr. Speaker, what the government has done merely is to take its attention away from Agenda 111. They do not intend to continue with it. The minister is reporting that they are now repurposing it to be funded under Big Push. But we all know that Big Push itself is not properly funded. They should have been spending $2.5 billion this year. The minister allocated only $800 million. And if you look at the expenditure allocation of the Big Push in the budget, Agenda 111 does not appear there. Agenda 111 does not appear there, Mr. Speaker. And so they do not intend to continue with Agenda 111. Rather, they have introduced the Mahama Care program, Mahama Care initiative, which they think should be a priority over Agenda 111 projects. Meanwhile, Agenda 111 projects are all over the country at various stages of completion. I do not understand why they will not use that money to complete these projects. They are jettisoning Agenda 11 projects in favor of Muhammad Case. We don't even know the details of the Muhammad Case program. And these, our friends on the other side, think that that should be a priority of Agenda 11 projects. The Agenda 11 projects, if not completed, Mr. Minister, will become a waste on our national conscience, but also on our national resources. And this is why you need to look at your priorities again to ensure that we provide funding to complete Agenda 11 projects so that the people of Ghana all over the country can benefit from these projects to improve on the health of our country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kabiru. The floor. Honorable member, you have the floor. Honorable members, let's listen to Honorable Kabiru in silence. Honorable Minister for Communication, let's listen to Kabiru in silence. Honorable Kabiru, you have the floor.
I will start the IT guy.
It's on.
It's on. Okay, it's working.
Mr. Speaker.
Kabiru, use the one behind you. Use the one behind you. No, there is one closer to Honorable John Dako, which they have owned just now.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. It's obvious the mics cannot do 24 hours. And Mr. Speaker, the proposed amendments has unanimous recommendation of the committee, and the only principal changes or amendment is the removal of ABFA as a funding source to the GIF. Mr. Speaker, we don't have any reservation whatsoever with this proposed amendment because that is a policy decision. And once a government decides that they are realigning resources in a manner that would allow the government execute programs and policies for the year, I think there shouldn't be any issue with that. Mr. Speaker, the only worry, which has already been highlighted, is priority programs that were funded under the GIF through ABFA allocations. Mr. Speaker, one of such is the Accra-Tema motorway. The Accra-Tema motorway was a project that leveraged on resources that were going to the GIF. But with this particular amendment, these funding sources is going to be collapsed. In other words, we will not have that dedicated resources going to the funding of that motorway. And Mr. Speaker, we've not completed that motorway. Admittedly, the minister mentioned that he is going to align that to the minister responsible for roads and highways, and that we will expect some resources to come from that particular ministry to ensure the completion of that. But that also means that there is going to be pressure on the resources given to that ministry, and we just hope it will be given priority, because Accra Motorway is one of the priority projects that we should ensure and work to its completion by the government. Mr. Speaker, on Agenda 111. Agenda 111, if there is any single health intervention that every succeeding government must ensure and work to ensure its completion, is the Agenda 111 project. It has brought equity and has brought health infrastructure to the doorstep of many deprived constituencies and districts. And I think that there is no negotiation whatsoever about a policy decision by any government, be it NDC or MPP, to ensuring the completion and timely completion, for that matter, of those projects. Mr. Speaker, the allocation given to the Ministry for Health under the health infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, is of 200 million Ghana cedi. Mr. Speaker, 200 million Ghana cedi cannot complete these projects. And it has already been argued that Big Push, which has been granted an amount or allocated an amount of 13.7 billion, is meant for other important, equally important intervention, infrastructure intervention. So we are now relying on the only 200 million allocated to the Ministry of Health to ensure the completion of Agenda 11 projects. And Mr. Speaker, we've heard the figures. The President mentioned the figures regarding the amount we need to ensuring the completion of this project. So my only appeal, because I'm making this appeal on behalf of several districts and constituencies, that Agenda 111 projects are priority projects. Agenda 111 projects are necessary projects. Agenda 111 projects need to be completed within the shortest possible time. Mr. Speaker, there are a lot of them, over 30 of them were completed. Over 30 of them were completed. But 30 out of 111 projects is still not enough. Okay, Mr. Speaker, we speak as if to say that Agenda 111 is the only hospital project being undertaken by the previous government. Mr. Speaker, there were over 60 hospitals that were completed by the Nana Addo Dankwa government. Over 60. And Agenda 111 was an addition to those 60 hospitals. Okay, so those additions needed to be completed. Mr. Speaker, I support, and our side support this proposed amendment, but we're calling on the government and the finance minister to pay special attention. If during mid-year the finance minister can come and say that we are advancing, we are improving, we are allocating more resources to ensuring the completion of this project, our side will support that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, yes, Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I do not intend to use this opportunity to debate, to stampede government policy. Every government and its own priorities. Therefore, my duty is to draw attention to some excesses and some inadequacies and some shortcomings. And if the government takes it on board, it helps the country and its governance. Mr. Speaker, the government is seeking to amend this law, but the Petroleum Revenue Management Act has some provisions. Right. So you are aware that Section 8 has a provision that deals with 25% of ABFA to give. Yes, what I'm saying is that, are you going to deal with that one as well through the one that is coming? Very well, Mr. Speaker. I want Hansa to recall the finance minister It's not enough to give
Finance
assurances
Minister, you may do so when
when
you are
Hansard is
concluding.
not a witness to your assurances. So do so that we know that you are committed to this. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, let the Finance Minister do so. I will yield to him.
Member, please conclude so that I can give him the floor when he's winding up, then he can take all on board.
Mr. Speaker, the majority leader cannot dictate to me how I should make my case, especially when his back is very naked. All these empty seats. So, Mr. Speaker, my point is that we cannot proceed with an amendment when the law has certain provisions to be considered. Otherwise, if we do this without looking at the provisions in the PRMA, the question is, where would that money go to? The minister is giving assurances, but that is not on record. So I will yield and pray that when he's winding up on the debate, he will make real commitment. But that said, I have nothing more to add. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
That tomorrow morning I will be laying the Petroleum Revenue Management Act Amendment Bill together with a number of bills for consideration of this House. The Speaker, the government has made a policy decision to realign the petroleum revenue management and allocate them purposely for infrastructure development. The Speaker, we believe that GIF has come of age since 2014 to mobilize on their own 10 times that amount, amounting to $2.5 billion US. And so we believe that the time has come for GIF to be on their own. And so, Mr. Speaker, all the petroleum revenue has been ring-fenced for key infrastructure development, and that will be addressed in the bill that I will lay tomorrow morning. Mr. Speaker, the details will be presented to the House. And so I urge the Honorable Minority Leader to wait for tomorrow. So tomorrow, the bill will be here, and we will make allocation going into key infrastructure development. Mr. Speaker, that will be done tomorrow.
Yes, Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister of Finance for that commitment. Sometimes people think we are only here to oppose. It's not about opposing, but we offer constructive views that, when taken on board, it helps the governance of the country. Mr. Speaker, it's instructive to hear from the Finance Minister that the past 8 years, GIF has been doing well, that they are now on their feet. Revenue in excess of $2 billion, said that they don't even need government to support them. So, Mr. Speaker, if that is the basis for this amendment, that GIF is now very independent, then, Mr. Speaker, it's one success story to hear, and it is coming from the Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, that said, I will support him, except that, Mr. Speaker, we are rising on Friday. Tomorrow is Thursday, and he's saying that we should expect more bills. We should expect more bills. Mr. Speaker, it is 11:45. We are rising on Friday. I recall when they were in opposition, the Chief Whip, Honorable Kwame Agboja, who said that government should not be rushing bills. Today, you are coming here, certificate of urgency. Very well. We are ready to support you.
members, at the conclusion of the debate, all those in favor of the motion number 20, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
An act to amend the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Act 2014, Act 877, to remove the annual budget funding amount as a source of funding for the fund.
Honourable members, the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Amendment Bill 2025 is now read for the second time. Honourable members, motion numbered 21.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that motion advertised as item 21 be taken now. I so move.
Any seconder? Yes, Honourable Member.
Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded. This is a procedural motion. It's for the consideration of the House. The question is, as many as are in favor of the motion, say aye. Those against, say no. The motion is carried. Now, the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Amendment Bill 2025 is at consideration stage. Clause 1. Chairman of the committee.
Section 5 of Act 877 amended.
Mr. Speaker, no amendments.
Honourable members, no amendment emanating from the chairman of the committee by for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, there be no amendment to clause 1 of the bill. The question, therefore, is as many as are in favor, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, with your indulgence, may we move clause 2 and 3 together. Very well. Clause 2.
Mr. Speaker, we have no amendment.
Section 6 of Act 877 amended.
Honourable members, no amendment from the committee is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, any amendments? Honourable members, there being no amendment, the question is as many as are in favor of clause 2 standing part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. Clause 2 is accordingly ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 3.
Of Act 877 amended.
Mr. Speaker, we have no amendment.
Honourable members, any proposed amendment to clause 3 of the bill? Honourable members, there being no amendment to clause 3 of the bill, the question is as many as are in favor of clause 3 standing part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 3 is accordingly ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, the long title.
An act to amend the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Act 2014, Act 877, to remove the annual budget funding amount as a source of funding for the fund.
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, we have no amendment.
Honourable members, long title for the consideration of the House. The committee and the chairman doesn't have proposed amendment. Any amendment from honourable members? Honourable members, there be no amendment to the long title. The question is as many as are in favor of the long title standing part of the bill, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The long title is accordingly ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, motion number 23. Yes. Honourable members, this brings us to the end of the consideration. So motion number 23. Yes, Honourable Finance Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that motion advertised as item 23 on today's order paper addendum be taken now. I so move.
Honourable members, the motion accordingly move. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, this being a procedural motion, the question therefore is, as many as are in favour of the motion say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honourable member, motion numbered 24.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Amendment Bill 2025 be now read the third time. I so move. Mr. Speaker.
Motion accordingly move. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, the question therefore is, as many as are in favour of the motion for the third reading of Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Amendment Bill 2025, say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
An act to amend the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Act 2014, Act 877, to provide the annual budget funding amount as a source of funding for the fund.
Honourable members, the Ghana Infrastructure and Investment Fund Amendment Bill 2025 is now read the third time and passed. Honourable member, motion number 25.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 25 is the last one.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that motion advertised as item 25 be taken now.
Honourable members, procedural motion number 25 is moved. Any secondment?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded. This is a procedural motion. The question is, as many as are in favour of the motion number 25 say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Finance Minister, item number 26.
Here. I told Camille here.
If you like your father, I say everybody on the car.
It's working.
Atu, come here. Atu. Yeah, put it up.
Okay.
Atu, come here. Atu, this way. Here. That's why here.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the earmark funds capping and realignment amendment bill 2025 be now read a second time. Mr. Speaker, the object of the bill is to amend the schedule for the earmark funds capping and realignment act 2017 Act 947 to expunge from the schedule the National Health Insurance Fund, the Ghana Education Trust Fund, Road Fund, Mineral Income Investment Fund, Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, and transfers to the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation from the petroleum revenues. So, Speaker, uncapping the Ghana Education Trust Fund will make available dedicated funds for the financing of free secondary education and free tertiary education for persons with disability. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, the bill seeks to uncap the National Health Insurance Levy to release additional funds to cater for payment claims, purchases of essential medicine, payment of vaccines, free primary health care, the Ghana Medical Care Trust, and the bridging of the USAID financing shortfall, among others. In addition, Mr. Speaker, the uncapping of the road fund will enable the Ghana Road Fund to receive full allocation. The total amount will be used solely for road maintenance. Mr. Speaker, the sources of the revenue from the Mineral Income Investment Fund, the Ghana Infrastructure and Investment Fund, and the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation have been restructured. Right, Honorable Speaker, the bill amends schedule to the Act 947. Then this amendment is considered necessary to enable the entities meet their expenditure as explained in the budget statement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Members, motion accordingly move. I will now give the floor to the chairman of the committee to present the committee's report.
Mr. Speaker, I move straight to the recommendations of the committee and request Hansa to capture the full report. Mr. Speaker, the committee unanimously recommends to the House to adopt this report and approve the earmarked funds and capping and realignment amendment bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, I so present.
All members, motion move report presented, and it is now for the House to debate. I will then open the floor for debate. Yes, Honorable Kabiru.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Just a minute.
We are not tired.
Mr. Speaker, the proposed amendment, as mentioned, seeks to uncap certain statutory funds. Mr. Speaker, just want for the records to capture that Free Senior High School had a dedicated funding source. And if it's government decision to fund Free Senior High School through uncapping of certain statutory funds, is policy decision, and there is no qualms whatsoever about that. And the record has to capture that. But in the previous government, there was a dedicated funding source for free senior high school, and it was funded through the goods and services component of ABFA. So that was a dedicated funding source. Mr. Speaker,
You have the floor to conclude.
I say this.
Honorable members, order.
I say this on authority because I served in the previous government, and I'm not speaking out of vacuum. And when I say what I say is born out of experience of running the economy, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, aside this, if the principle is against capping, then we must better do it well. Mr. Speaker, there are other funding statutory funds that are hemorrhaging. Mr. Speaker, the Student Trust Fund, we are saying we want to enhance education. We want students to be onboarded into the enhanced student loan program, and it's part of the policy prescription before this House. Mr. Speaker, under the AMR Capping Act, student loan trust is still part of the funds being capped. Mr. Speaker, aside this, we have the energy fund, still capped. Mr. Speaker, we have the road fund. As a matter of fact, we have other internal generated funds that before us, these institutions have appeared before us, begging and appealing to us that they should uncap their retentions. Mr. Speaker, if it is a principle, let's establish that the NDC government, as a principle, seeks to uncap statutory funds, and once that uncapping is done, As they say, funds will flow automatically to those institutions.
The statutory funds, are they also affected by the earmark and the capping and realignment?
I didn't
The
get
internally generated funds, are they also affected by the earmark fund capping and realignment?
Mr. Speaker, the proposed amendment has excluded some of them, and I'm only drawing attention of the House to the fact that if capping of statutory fund is problematic, then we must better do it well. If we don't do it well and go and pick and choose for political convenience, it doesn't solve the problem. And that is the point I'm just advancing, that we must look at all funding sources, all funds that have been capped under the law, and try to freeze all of them. Once we uncap them, resources will come per the logic of the government, and we will address.
The Alignment Amendment Bill 2025 is 7.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that motion captured as item
7.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that motion captured as item 27 be taken today. I so move.
Members, motion move. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Members, motion move and seconded, and it is motion move and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. This is a procedural motion. The question, therefore, is as many as are in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. Members, the ayes have it. The motion is accordingly adopted. Members, the earmark funds capping and realignment amendment bill 2025 at consideration. Honorable members, the earmark fund capping and realignment amendment bill at consideration. Honorable members, the schedule.
Schedule to Act 947 amended.
Chairman of the committee, any amendment to the schedule?
Mr. Speaker, we have no amendment to